Pakistan has launched missile strikes into the Iranian territory, reportedly killing 9 people, including 4 children. This was in retaliation to Iranian strikes in Pakistan on Tuesday that killed 2 children and injured 3 others. Pakistan now says its strikes hit terrorist hideouts around the Iranian city of Saravin in Sistan-Balochistan province. Earlier, Pakistan condemned Iran's strike on Tuesday in its Balochistan province near the Iranian border. Iran insisted that its strikes were aimed only at Jaish al-Adl group that has carried out attacks inside Iran and not Pakistan citizens. Pakistan and Iran have long accused each other of harboring militant groups that carry out attacks from regions along their shared border. Pakistan's foreign ministry has confirmed Thursday's retaliatory strikes. Pakistan says it acted in light of credible intelligence of impending large-scale terrorist activities, claiming that its attacks killed many terrorists. Iran has summoned Pakistan's charge the affairs after the missile strike. In the light of the recent developments, Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar will cut short his trip to the World Economic Forum annual meeting at Davos. The Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Jalil Abbas Jalani, is also cutting short his Uganda visit in light of the recent developments. China, a strong ally of both nations, has called them to show restraint and avoid escalation. Beijing has also expressed willingness to play a constructive role in de-escalating the situation if both sides want.
Iran and Pakistan are close neighbors, friendly countries to China, and countries with important influence. China sincerely hopes that both sides can maintain calm and restraint and avoid escalating tensions. If there is a need from both parties, we are also willing to play a constructive role in alleviating the situation.
And to get us more updates on this, we are now being joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik live from Islamabad. Anas, what are the latest developments on ground and how is the Pakistan's military preparedness? Any signs of the conflict further escalating?
Well, last question first. At this point of time, there does not seem to be any signs or seeming signs of the conflict further escalating. The military has put out a statement, Chris, and I'll just read it out from that, and I quote, "In the early hours of 18 January 2024, Pakistan carried out effective strikes against hideouts inside Iran used by terrorists responsible for recent attacks in Pakistan. The precision strikes were carried out using killer drones, rockets, loitering munitions, and standoff weapons. Maximum care was taken to avoid collateral damage. Hideouts used by terrorist organizations, namely Baloch Liberation Army and the Baloch Liberation Front, were successfully struck in an intelligence-based operation codenamed Marg Bar Sarmachar. The targeted hideouts were being used by notorious terrorists, including Dosta alias Chairman, Bajar alias Sogat, Sahil alias Shafaq, Asghar alias Basham, and Wazir alias Wazi, amongst others. Pakistan's armed forces remain in a perpetual state of readiness to ensure safety of Pakistan's citizens against acts of terrorism. Our resolve to ensure that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Pakistan is respected and safeguarded against any misadventure remains unwavering. We reaffirm our determination to defeat all enemies of Pakistan with the support of the people of Pakistan. Going forward, dialogue and cooperation is deemed prudent in resolving bilateral issues between the two neighboring brotherly countries."
Right.
So the military and the civilian side both hinting clearly that they don't want to escalate further and they would rather want to be focused on dialogue. In fact, the Pakistani Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch made it abundantly clear that Pakistan's strike was not against the state of Iran but against terror targets or terrorist individuals that were using Iran as a hideout. Chris?
Anas, but many view this as a tit-for-tat move because, the timing is suspect. Just less than a month before the national elections, Pakistan is now being drawn into a wider regional conflict. And will this have any impact whatsoever?
I don't think that there will be any bearing. In fact, yesterday, when we interviewed the caretaker information minister of Pakistan, Mr. Murtaza Solangi, the interview will be out sometime later today on WION, exclusively on WION. I asked him particularly that there have been resolutions before the upper house of the parliament, that is the Senate, seeking to delay elections under the pretext of security. And even recently with the Iran attack, will there be a change in poll dates? And he categorically stated that is nada, that is not going to happen unless if the election commission of Pakistan wants to change the date of elections.
Right.
Only then we can see the elections being delayed or postponed. Otherwise, this is just a one-off event, and
yes,
it will be considered as a one-off event. Though it is pertinent to mention over here that both the Pakistani Prime Minister, the caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar, who is currently in Davos, he has cut short his trip. He's returning back to Pakistan tonight. Additionally, the Pakistani caretaker Foreign Minister Jalil Abbas Gilani, he is in Uganda as we speak for the non-aligned movement summit, and he has also cut short his visit, and he is also returning back to the country. Chris?
Stay with Anas. Joining me now is former Indian diplomat, Ambassador Anil Triguniath. He has served in the Indian missions in Bangladesh, the United States, Russia, and many other countries. Ambassador, welcome to WION World as well.
Thank you, Kristen.
My first question is, how do you view Pakistan's strikes in Iran? It claims that they were targeting terrorists. Do you see this as a tit-for-tat response after Iranian airstrikes?
Well, as you know, and the previous speaker also mentioned, the Pakistan is in a very terrible dilemma. On the one hand, it is continuing to harness terrorists, nurture them. And secondly, it also claims to be affected by terrorism itself. And therefore, this Jaish attacks, which have been continuing against the Iranian assets in a long time, nearly at least 12 years or 10 years. Now we have seen that happening. And the most recent one was about a month ago. So Iranians decided that they will attack this particular group, which is there. Now, at the same time, we have seen that there is one group called Baloch Liberation Army, which is located on the other side of the border into Iran. And yesterday also on your channel, I had said that one of the ways the Pakistan can do some kind of a face saving, whether in concert with the Iranians or against that, is that by launching some kind of a nominal strike as a tit-for-tat, or just to show to the public in Pakistan that army is in control, that it can defend its borders. Because see, like security lapses that happen, your surveillance lapses that happen, that missiles and drones can come in, that also there's a chink in your armor. So that's precisely what the Pakistanis are trying to convey to their electorate, so to say, since the elections are likely in the corner, that they will look after their security. And the security is at their worst within the country also.
Mr. Triguniath, we're also seeing the role of China in this entire equation, because it says that it is willing to mediate between Iran and Pakistan after the airstrikes.
Yes, China, if you remember, that China has been trying to play this mediatory role. It tried to do that between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Iran and Pakistan both are very close to China's overall geopolitical axis. And therefore, China has close partnership or rather ironclad friendship with the Pakistanis, and a very, very close partnership, strategic partnership with Iran. And so therefore, China feels that this kind of a problem between these two countries, if it further escalates or diplomatic relations ruptured, would also impact its own projects, which it is considering through Pakistan, Iran, Afghanistan. So I think it is in the larger context that Iran would have offered, China would have offered, and will continue to do so.
Ambassador Anil Triguniath, thank you for joining us on the broadcast to give us your insights on the entire geopolitical situation.